Good morning. I'm David Talbot, Managing Director and Head of Research at Red Cloud Securities. Keeping with our silver theme, our next company to present is Southern Silver Exploration. It explores and develops high-grade precious and base metal projects in North America, but a recent focus has been on its bonanza-grade silver discovery at Cerro Las Mintas in Mexico. We welcome Lawrence Page, President and Director, and Robert Macdonald, VP Exploration, to speak to our audience today. So Lawrence, you've got 15 minutes to speak, you and Robert, and then we'll have a 5-minute Q&A session there at the end. So attendees, please feel free to ask questions during and use the Q&A link below.
Thanks, David, and good afternoon to the audience. I'm speaking to you from Vancouver, where the Southern Silver Company is domiciled. It's one of 5 companies that's under management by the Mannix Resource Group, and we've been in business for some 30 some odd years, providing services to reporting issuers from everything that is required to cost efficiently explore projects. The company that we're going to focus on today is Southern Silver Exploration. It's been in our group for about the last 10 years. It's the successor of Western Silver Exploration, which discovered the Penasquito mine in Zacatecas, Mexico, brought it to the stage where it was attractive to majors, and the shareholders had a $1.2 billion payday on the corporate takeout by Glamis Gold and then ultimately by Goldcorp. We wanted to emulate that success if we could. We felt that the human resources that we had in Mexico would put us in an enviable position to find a property that had merit and that we could explore. We think we've done that in Durango, Mexico. We found a property that we purchased for $4 million. It's a series of old artisanal mines that have been brought together under one ownership for the first time. As we began exploring, our partner was Freeport-McMoRan, which was looking for a deep-seated porphyry. They put $5 million into the project. Ultimately, they left Mexico and they were replaced by the Electrum Group out of Denver and New York. They began by investing into the company and ultimately decided that they would prefer to earn a direct interest in the ground. They put up $5 million for us to spend as operators and earned a 60% interest. So that was the state of play as of mid-year last year. We felt that we weren't moving fast enough to increase the resource that we had published at that time, a 2019 resource. Rob's going to tell you about that. And so we did a deal where we agreed to purchase their 60% working interest in the property for $15 million US. We closed that deal last year. We did a $14.5 million financing. As of the 15th of this month, we'll pay the second tranche of that payment of $4 million, payable half in US dollars and half in shares at the 20-day VWAP, leaving a residual payment in September of the same amount. So we're well on our way to paying for it. We have title to the ground and we're the operators, and we're doing some very exciting exploration that Rob's going to tell you about. Corporately, we've got about $9.6 million in the treasury. If we spend about 2.5 million Canadian, it leaves roughly $7 million, which has no commitments other than the paying for the residual 10,000 meter drill program that Rob will discuss, and another 10,000 meters, which should take us again to an updated resource. But a little knowledge is a dangerous thing, and if I start talking about that, I'm liable to tell you some dad facts. So having said that, I'm available for Q&A, and Rob, if you could carry on from here, I'd appreciate it. Thank you.
Hey, thank you very much, Larry, and thank you to Red Cloud for inviting us to present, and thank you all for coming online to hear the presentation. I'll be speaking about Southern Silver and primarily the Cerro Las Manitas Silver Lead Zinc project in Durango. It's the flagship of the company, and we're in the midst of drilling. We returned some fantastic drill results to date, and I'll just review them as well as other aspects of the project. Um, There we have forward-looking statement. I will be making some forward-looking statements that are aspirational in nature, and I guess you're so advised. So the focus of the presentation will be on the Cerro Las Manitas Silver Lead Zinc project located in Durango, Mexico. The project itself is one of the largest and highest grade undeveloped silver projects in the world, with indicated and inferred resources totaling 272 million silver equivalent ounces at a 354 gram per ton silver equivalent grade. The project is located in a well-established silver mining district in Mexico, and we're surrounded by producing companies. So it's very, very well located. Larry has reviewed aspects of the recent purchase of our former JV partner, 60% interest in the project. That was for $15 million in cash and share payments. It now gives us a 100% ownership and control of the project. We are fully financed with $9.6 million currently in the treasury, and we're well placed for future success. And we're looking at exploration as a means for organic growth of the company. And so as a result, we are in the midst of a 20,000 meter program. We've just completed about 10,000 meters of that. So we're on the second half of the program. We've already produced multiple high-grade intercepts from drilling that started in September 2020. And the plan is to increase the size of the deposit by 30%. Very quick review of a number of the high-grade results that we've returned to date. You can see some very robust thicknesses, and these are estimated true thicknesses, not downhole thicknesses. So you can see some very good thicknesses, very high-grade silver values sitting in here, and high-grade silver equivalent values that are in general higher than the 354 gram per ton silver equivalent that is the average grade of the deposits that we've identified today. The highlight, of course, was reported on February 9th, 2021, 8 meters averaging 1,072 grams per ton silver and 26% combined lead zinc for 2,040 grams per ton silver equivalent. Very high grade mineralization indeed, and we have multiple other holes and intercepts that have returned very good values as well. Quick review of the capital structure. So we're trading generally between 45-55 cents, gives us around $100 million to $120 million market cap. Since the announcement of the transaction with Electrum, we've been one of the better silver performing stocks, and you can see that's being reflected in our volume, our share volume, our trade volume in the latter part of 2020 and into 2021, as well as a sharp increase in the price, and which is maintained through 2021. Again, the transaction, the main highlight is that it was a very low acquisition price at $15 million. That equates to around 9 cents an ounce silver equivalent, and we're getting a much higher value per ounce in the ground than 9 cents currently. This now gives us full control of a premier polymetallic project in Mexico, increase in attributable resources, enhances the market profile of the company, increases the market cap, and makes us a much more attractive takeover target. Again, just to reiterate, we are one of the largest, one of the highest grade silver-based undeveloped assets out there. In terms of the management team, we're looking at a group of people that have been involved with the development and of about a dozen different mines in various jurisdictions, but a lot of success in Mexico. And that would include the aforementioned Penasquito project, the Los Gatos project in Mexico, San Nicolas down in Zacatecas, Mexico. So it's a group of people that know what major projects look like. they know how to develop them, and they know how to transition them into a production scenario, either within the companies that they're operating with, or alternatively through merger and acquisition, basically selling the project forward to a producer who puts the project into production. Project portfolio, 2 projects. We have the Oro project, an earlier stage copper moly porphyry system and on the eastern extension of the Arizona Copper Belt. It's located in southern New Mexico, and it's an earlier stage project. So I am going to focus more on our flagship, the Cerro Las Manitas project. It's located in the heart of the Faja de Plata, or the Belt of Silver, in north central Mexico, located in Durango. It's 100% owned. We've completed over $27 million of in acquisition and exploration expenses since acquisition in 2011. We've completed over 10,000 meters and we're on our second 10,000 meters currently, and we're targeting a 30% increase in the mineral resources. We continue to do engineering and metallurgical work to de-risk the project, and all of that is getting rolled into a PEA preliminary economic assessment due in the latter part of 2021. We are operating in an active exploration and development area with superior infrastructure and community support. It's a safe jurisdiction. It's out on the edge of the Altiplano. It's not in the mountains. Easy access, easy logistics, support, strong community support. We have our permits in place, our exploration access agreements in place with the local ejido. We've completed over 65,000 meters of drilling, $27 million spent to date at a cash discovery cost of 9 cents an ounce silver equivalent. In terms of the location, you can see the plat here. Southern Silver, or the Cerro Las Manitas project, is highlighted in yellow. And you can see that here. The area of the Cerro with the resources is located in this area here. We're surrounded by producers. Hecla San Sebastian project on our eastern boundary, Fresnillo on our northern boundary, exploring their El Titanic claim. Avino is producing from gold and silver veins at their project, at the Avino project, just around 6 kilometers away. And Core Mining's La Preciosa project is located about 25 kilometers away. So again, good access. We have highways running through the property. A small town, Guadalupe, Victoria, of 10,000 people. It's about an 8-minute drive to the area of the Cerro. So we've got excellent access, and again, surrounded by major players in a very mature mining district. This is Cerro Las Manitas. You can see one of the highways that runs right through the property. It's only a few hundred meters away from the mineral deposits, and you can see here that the Cerro itself is sort of horseshoe shaped. It's a zone of alteration surrounding a more recessive, altered central intrusion, which acts as a heat pump for the system. Mineral resources we've identified to date are on the western side of the Cerro. We're now currently exploring on the eastern side of the Cerro in the South Skarn and the Mina Lava Kona targets. And you can see schematically, this is a representation cross-section through the Cerro, central intrusion, zones of alteration hosting mineralization. Some of the historic mining was right around the intrusive neck. We've identified deposits on the western side of the Cerro. That includes the Skarn front, which accounts for 200 million of the 272 million ounces that we've identified on the project, as well as 3 other deposits, the Blind, El Sol, and Las Victorias, located associated with the dike swarm on the western side of the Cerro. All our drilling now is on the eastern side of the Cerro, and has never been incorporated into the resources on the western side. Breakdown of the mineral resources, and now this is where we're drilling. On the east side, we have the South Skarn and the Mina Lava Kona target, with 22 holes completed to date. We are currently drilling there now. The Mina Lava Kona target, we've identified 3 separate targets: an oxide target sitting in the upper part of the system, and then 2 sulfide lenses. And this here, hole 131, is where we've identified the 8 meters of 2,040 grams per ton silver equivalent. Another highlight hole, 25, 33 meters, 435 grams per ton silver equivalent. Again, these are all estimated true thicknesses, not down hole thicknesses. So the idea that what we want to do now is continue drilling and testing, tracing the projection of the mineralization to depth, and maybe combining these two zones into one larger system. We also have further drilling that we want to do in the oxide gold zone, which can have higher grade values as well, up to 4 or 5 grams per ton, so grams per ton gold. South Skarn, similarly, 400 by 300 meter zone tested. We have additional drilling on the northern side, as well as some other infill that we want to drill on this target. But again, it's well on its way with high-grade mineralization, and we're looking forward to better results as we continue exploring on the farm. Again, our metallurgical test work and our engineering studies, excellent recoveries of silver, zinc, lead, and copper. And all of this is being developed into an NSR model, and upon which we've done an initial mine design, which includes a stope model, production scenarios, and schedule. So we have all of this done for the western side, the already known deposits. We're actually over here on the eastern side, and the idea is to incorporate these into a broader mine plan as we move forward toward a PDAC. We do have one other asset in the company. It's the Oro property. It's a large copper system. And it looks like I've got a minute or so to go through this. And so we've had the property since around 2007. It's a large copper porphyry system. We've flown the project with ZTEM, and we've identified some targets within this area. Here's the porphyry target, the Skarn target here, and outboard there are some replacements and gold targets over about a 3 kilometer radius. We've identified 5,000 meters of drilling in this target, and we're in the process of permitting. That should be completed by summer, and by fall, we want to be drilling this target as well. And so again, there's something to look forward to, and hopefully we can take advantage of the increase in copper price. So it's another aspect for the company that we're looking forward to developing and continuing to add value for the shareholders. And so that's it. The summary: we've had a transformative transaction with Electrum. It creates an attractive entry point for investors. And the asset, the primary asset, is Cerro Las Menitas, which is one of the largest and highest grade undeveloped silver projects in the world. And we have a near-term exploration target to increase that resource by 30% and then take that into a PEA and prepare that, do all the pre-development work to prepare it for that. Thank you very much.
Okay, perfect. Thank you very much, Robert and Lawrence. Kicking off, Cerro Las Menitas, when do you expect a resource update there? What should we expect? And might you kick off a PEA for sort of a consolidated PEA for the area?
The plan right now is we're on the second 10,000 meters. So that should be completed probably by around the June timeframe. And so maybe July, August, we'd have a mineral resource update. And then that'll be worked into a PEA towards the latter part of 2021. Our goal is to get it done by the end of 2021, but it may spill over into Q1 2022, just in the way that these things, the length of time that these things usually take.
Okay, thank you. Southern Silver is sort of differentiated by its grade. Can you explain to us, why that's important? A lot of your resources are in the skarn, and as far as where you are in the system. Can you maybe explain that?
We do have higher grade. We've outlined primarily an underground resource, and it's a sulfide resource. And so for those reasons, we are using a slightly higher cutoff than maybe a bulk tonnage system, and our grades reflect that. There are other higher grade portions of the system as well, and we are now on the east side finding grades that tend to be on average higher than what the average grade of the deposits, the currently known deposits, are, which is always very encouraging. That mineralization is relatively shallow, and so the idea now is, as we incorporate that into a mining scenario, that we identify this high-grade mineralization that can get to the mill first in the early part of a mining scenario, which is a tremendous benefit for net present values and NAVs and NPVs and that sort of thing.
Perfect. Okay, thank you very much. So we are up on our time, but I guess one last question here. Who are the controlling shareholders, and does management control any shares in the company?
Management has about 2%, and a good portion of that is mine and family. 25% is owned by the Electrum group. We'll increase that marginally by issuing them $2 million worth of stock on the 15th of this month. So their stock is tied up, it's out of the market, and would have to be qualified, etc., to be sold. They're good shareholders, they're long-term shareholders. They recently put another $480,000 into the company to exercise a warrant that was getting to its full term. So that's the response.
Perfect. Okay, Robert Lawrence, thank you very much. Up next, we have Great Panther Mining.